It's time to duel! Pokémon Duel. At least it would be if the game were still around. That's right, this is the Pokémon game you can no longer play. Pokémon Duel was released in Japan in 2016 and the rest of the world in 2017. This was a mobile game as both Pokémon and Nintendo were just getting into the platform, with the recent big success Pokémon Go. But while Pokémon Duel had a decent start with its wide release on the sole fact that it was another Pokémon mobile game, the initial hype wore off as it became clear this wasn't just another casual game like its predecessor. Pokémon Go is a very easy game for anyone to pick up, understand, and start playing. And while Pokémon Duel isn't difficult, it is more of a strategy-based game. In Pokémon Duel, you collect figurines of Pokémon that each have a moveset distributed onto a wheel which spins during combat to determine the move used. These figures travel across a board and the object of the game is to reach your opponent. Gameplay is a lot like a tactical RPG with a capture point objective. The interesting part is the board. It isn't set up like a grid as you might expect, but instead could best be described as a tree with specific points on it that Pokémon can be placed on. It's relatively simple, but it would still be considered a strategy game. I played it for a bit when it first came out and I had fun, although the time just wasn't right for me and I couldn't continue playing consistently, so I unfortunately contributed to the fall off. But it was a genuinely good game in the Pokémon mobile library, even being based off of a physical game that used to exist. But that's a topic for another day. While the figures in Pokémon Duel were digital rather than physical, the same work was put into each so that they weren't just default 3D models. In fact, them being digital allowed for even more detail. And while you could play online, there was also a story mode. You, as the player character, arrive on Carmonte Island to enter the Pokémon figure game World Tournament. There were even original characters with some great designs, which is just criminal with the knowledge of them being gone along with the game. The two friend characters were Luca, who introduces you to the world, and Sharon, a tsundere idol. How have people not been talking about this game since? Carmonte Island was also the home to several resorts, the owners of which served as basically the gym leaders. Yes, this is the game where you get to live out your fantasies of doing rich people things with other rich people on a resort island. And again, the character design philosophy of Pokemon carries over into them as well. I feel bad that I played so little of this game and I don't even really remember them. It always feels so weird seeing Pokemon characters from either obscure or discontinued games. They feel like they're from another reality. On a side note, if anyone ever draws fan art of obscure Pokemon characters, don't hesitate to tweet it to me at GatorEXP on Twitter. Fan art of any kind is welcome, wink wink. But even though these resort owners seem like a cool bunch, they are actually incomplete, because only 6 out of 9 were ever released before the game was discontinued. And that is just heartbreaking. It's not enough that the game was killed off, but the story wasn't even finished by the time the service ended. Pokémon Duel had a lot going for it. Good gameplay, great designs, and a built-in fanbase. So what could have gone wrong? Pokémon Duel officially ended on October 31st, 2019, after the initial announcement of termination being made on July 26th of that year. Pokémon Duel was discontinued in the Netherlands even earlier back in January. This was because the Netherlands had placed a ban on video games with loot boxes, which is how Pokémon Duel functioned, being a free-to-start game with figures appearing in these loot boxes. But this isn't necessarily the reason for its later termination worldwide, because during the same year, Pokémon Masters was released, which also functions on a loot box system, and Masters was released in several countries except the Netherlands and Belgium. The loot box system was never the sole reason for Pokémon Duel's end. It likely just failed to meet sales expectations, underperforming compared to the other Pokémon mobile games. It was the more niche game overall, being a strategy virtual board game, sitting on the app stores alongside Pokémon Go, which is very easy to start playing. And especially if Pokémon would be releasing another game like Masters that's also free to play but would have potential wider audience as it focused on previously established characters and a more familiar battle system, it made sense for this to be the replacement for Pokémon Duel. Still, it doesn't feel right a game is just unplayable. That's the problem with digital-based service games. And while I don't doubt that there are other unofficial means of playing Pokémon Duel, it's just not the same. It's so interesting that a game can be released and terminated within 2 years and can happen so recently for one of the largest media franchises. I don't expect the concept or even characters from Pokémon Duel to be revived or revisited anytime soon, but I do hope that at the very least future games don't meet the same fate. But that has been the death of Pokémon Duel. But anyway, hey, this is GatorX, and let me know what you think in the comments below. If you'd like to stick around and show your support, there's the subscribe and the like button, all that stuff there. I'm also on Twitter as well. But anyway, this has been GatorX. Have a nice day.